get on here and make it do what we do. And I don't know if I have any extra notes or not, because I need to do on here and make it do what we do. I need to do, I guess that means that I'm live now, because I need to do my radio show. And so I get to do that today. And I need to do actually 2 episodes, because I need to have, they always say that they want an extra one in the hole. And so I need to make an extra video. Or I'm sorry, not a video. I need to do an extra radio show. And I'm really trying to change up on these radio shows, because I want to do some different stuff. I want to encourage people to do something different with their time. So I need to work on that. I need to do that today. So there's stuff that I want to talk about. There she is. There's stuff that I want to talk about, but I will wait until the radio show, because I have the wonderful Stephanie McCain here. And good morning. How are you?
I am good. I am good.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I was like, I was just saying that, I went ahead and started anyway. I was like, because I don't know exactly when she's coming, but it's all good. Whenever you get here, it's perfect.
Yeah, no, the time upstairs is different than the time on the real clock. So I was upstairs just sitting with myself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's always a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Let me think, what was I going to say to that? You said something about the time. So this morning, so how I've been talking about this rash that I have. And everybody else says that they can't really see it. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning.
And so I have this, it's like I could see it on my eyelids and under my eyes. It's like a darkening of the pigmentation, and then it happens right around in here. And so I took Benadryl the other night, and it seemed to, some of the scab came off.
Oh,
and
wow.
so
Okay.
I took Benadryl again last night, and this morning I heard my phone go off, and I just laid there, and I'm just thinking like, oh, and so I got up late. I got up at 5 a.m. and
that's the wonderful life of Benadryl, at least for me. I don't get to pop up when I take Benadryl.
Yeah, so it's kind of been that drag this morning. Like, even once I got up, it's like I'm downstairs trying to get my workout in, and it's just like not.
Exactly.
So I'm like, girl, stop it. That darn Erica is a trip. She gonna say, give us a close-up, move on closer to the camera. No. If you can't,
trying to get rid of it, she doesn't want people to see it.
right. You tripping. No, but yeah, it's that's been a challenge. And I talked to Alan yesterday, and he says that's been about 3 weeks now. Which, of course, if I keep talking about it, then that means that my sister and everybody will be trying to take me to emergency. So that's why I'm just taking the Benadryl now, because, before I was like, oh, let it work its way through.
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking the Benadryl. So I can't pinpoint what it is. I don't know. And I'm hoping it's not this new place where I've been going to get my massages.
But that was last week, right?
Yeah. But and I've been going every 2 weeks. And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And like I said, I'm trying to offset for the possibility that there is something that is in that room that is getting to me. Because the last time I got really stopped up.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I took in my own,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to put down, I got really congested. So I don't know. But if it I'm scheduled to go back again on Monday, so I'll see.
Pay attention. Yeah. I
Yes,
hope not.
I hope not too. So anyway, so all is well, all is well. So good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
It'll be a
everybody.
sunshiny day.
I know that is so good because this is my golf day. So I'm excited about that. Like, because last week it was cold.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's going to be sunny and in the 50s today. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited.
Actually, I think it's supposed to be up near 60, right? Um,
Really? I just saw 54 by 12 o'clock. So
okay. What time is your golf then?
five, five, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, we are going to be we are going to be hoping that you have warm weather. Yeah, it's going to be 57. That's supposed
Yeah.
5 o'clock. Yeah. So yesterday I worked in my yard again and have her make a house call. You got a table.
Hmm.
That woman is I mean she's got a doctor behind her name. It's not like she's just a regular masseuse. And her schedules when she does massages is so interesting because it's either after her stuff that she does during the day or you
Uh-huh.
gotta come before. So it's not just like,
Okay.
and she told me that she only takes a certain amount of these massages.
Okay.
Yeah, because technically her and her brother are both chiropractors. And so
Okay.
yeah, so it's not like she's going around making house calls.
Yeah.
I know you probably make house calls, Erica, but she doesn't. I don't think. Anyway, anyway, coming to this moment. Hello. All right, so welcome to this day of morning glory. Anything else happening with you, Miss Stephanie? Before
Just
we
doing the business of doing this business, doing
okay.
this. Yeah, this is a lot. You know, I'll let you just pray. Go ahead. I'll talk about it because this has something to do with the anatomy of the, of the spirit.
Okay. So, Father, Mother God, in this moment, we just recognize you as all there is, the only presence in all, through all, as all, and the activity of this life is nothing more than the activity of you, of our own
Mm-hmm.
unfolding, of our own growth. So we open up to these words that are spoken here, knowing that they are filled with your light, love, and wisdom of the highest. We just relax in this space and just have your way, have your way, have your way. And so it is. Thank
So
you,
it is.
Amy.
Yeah.
Amen.
So we are studying the fifth chakra, which is the throat, mouth, this area in here. And I don't know about anybody else on this journey, but it's my journey as long as I can remember. It's whatever I'm studying or reading, life decides to just like, well, let's just exercise some of this knowledge, get it out of your head and put it into your heart, feet, and hands. and so I'm dealing with a family crisis right now. And um so one of my as a as a uh as an anxious person, um, one of my natural tendencies as I've gone through my own personal healing journey is to step back. Is actually a fear-based behavior to step back and not be seen and let the show run, and I offer my gifts as needed. And since we've been studying this, the chakras, um, I have been feeling more compelled to use my voice and other than in the therapy room. And since I've been writing, I've been feeling more empowered to use my voice other than in the therapy room, and amongst my family of origin and people that are close to me. And so it's just been an interesting journey, in speaking my truth. And like, and that's it. Like, this is my truth, and this is it. I don't care what you do with that information, but I am going to share it, um and then let it be. Like, I don't need an aha, I don't need a amen, I don't need an agreement. And in that, it feels very it feels empowering, one, and then at the same time, that experience of, well, I hope they could feel the love, but I meant that.
Mhm.
Same thing, like, when I used to discipline my kids, I've always been worried, if you will, about them knowing how much I love them, but I got to shut it down. I'm sorry. Like, and that's how I parented too. Like, oh my God, I love you so much. I hate that I got to do this, but I'm shutting it down. And if you're grounded, I'm grounded too. So please understand that, I got to do this. And so having that dialogue and that experience now in the middle of a family crisis, has been really interesting, for me to watch me surrender, because the most times I just wouldn't say anything. I'll write a check, do what you need me to do, and just pay attention and be like, all right, well, y'all do what you're gonna do. But I've been feeling more determined to say, whoa, 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 like, let what are we doing here? And I just find it to be interesting, because even in that, there's this place of, speak through me, use me. The whole time I'm talking, it's like, speak through me, use me, but let me stand in the confidence that I know that whatever we do, we better darn do it in love, because
Right,
that's what's required of us. We
right.
got to do this in love, no matter, I know anxieties are high, but we got to function in a place of love. And I don't mean to be a stick in the mud, but, cease the negative energy and let's go someplace else. And
So you ever consider calling it? So sometimes I know that's my language too, to say speak my truth. But the other flip side of that is sometimes I also look at it like shine my light,
hmm
right? Um,
yeah,
because
that's really good.
yeah, because one of the things that shining the light, if you look at it from that standpoint of view, is bringing light into something that otherwise might be dark.
Yes. Yeah.
And so where and so one of the things that I love about changing up the way that we speak that about it is that when we say speak our truth, sometimes it comes across like a forceful kind of energy.
hmm
But one of the amazing things is that if darkness is not an entity unto itself, right?
hmm
Darkness is simply the absence of light.
hmm
Then when you bring light into a situation, it illumines it.
hmm
And so sometimes even the things that people were, they may not have been clear on, the light serves to illumine even that.
That's good.
So
hmm
without that, you don't have you can't even see the edges of it because it becomes a fuzzy thing.
Yeah,
So,
that's
it,
good.
yeah, just think of it as shining your light.
Yeah.
And sometimes I tell people, one of the reasons why I'm so, people, I used to have these women that would say, oh, here she come with her happy ass.
Yep.
And I, and I think to myself, like, okay, so if I looked at it like I'm supposed to shine my light or be light, right? Y'all might not see no other light if I wasn't shining. So I need to shine. I need to shine. And
hmm
that's not to say that that's against or negating anybody
Right. It's
else.
not a one up.
Yes, it's just shining what I'm shining because
Mhm.
it's in me.
Yeah.
And if I was to withhold it, that in itself would be going against what it is that we,
Yeah, I mean, what we just read is this
yeah.
poison.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
poison to my spirit. And
yes.
so, and then stepping in, but I like that. And I will keep that in mind as we go through this journey,
Mhm.
that that's is simply that. And let that be what it is. But it was just interesting that I'm like, wow, like I'm being called to walk in this surrender, and right at this moment, like you are live universe, you are amazing, that
Yeah.
you know and I wonder how many other people are aware that life is like saying, okay, do this, okay, do this, you got the lesson, okay, like come on, like
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it's time to get on the bike and ride it.
Right. 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 I just funny thing is I just finished talking to Rhonda about that. She was talking about she was going on a bike ride today, and I was
Go.
like, oh, I my bike out. I mean, my bike is not up. It's just I haven't even put any air in the tires yet.
Oh
It's
wow,
up
okay.
there. So yeah. So yes, it is. That's excellent. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm excited. I'm
I am.
excited. I'm excited for what doing this work does, you know. Um, yeah, because it's an exciting piece. All right, um, so I get to do my radio show today. And so there is things that I was jotting down, notes that I was jotting down where I keep saying, okay, let me not, because I'm thinking that the whole time, like I'm sidestepping because I'm probably going to do it over Facebook. And it's so much easier when I get to talk to you. But I'll probably do it over Facebook. And so I want to, not talk about everything
Right.
right here. So it'll be different. At least I'll have, there's a different group too, but I want to do it early because I need to get out in the sunshine and do some work.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I opened the door. It was still a little chilly for that, but I
Well,
opened the front door.
yeah, I'm thinking about going to get another bag of mulch and another bag of these little pebbles to go in my backyard because my backyard is starting to look really good to me. So I'm excited about that. So we are still on this idea of confession.
Yes, 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 yes. Mm.
Have you ever done a confession?
No, like in a spiritual sense.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I've confessed to cutting school. Or ruining my husband's shirt in the laundry.
Oh,
3
okay.
times in a row. Yeah. But yeah, no.
No. So it's interesting. Because while I have done confession before, not that I'm Catholic, but I went on a Catholic retreat one time with some
Okay.
friends. And part of the retreat is that you went in and you confessed to a priest. But this was modern day where he's sitting there in one of those folding chairs with his arms crossed or with his legs crossed, and I go in and I'm thinking to myself, am I supposed to do all this forgive me, Father, for I have sinned kind of thing? And I really did not, my thing is I didn't know that I considered what I was doing a sin.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it, I guess I could say he's no longer on this planet. So it was Father Dan began. And and Father Dan was such a wonderful spirit. I mean, he was, you know, who knows what all he had seen and been through in his life. But by the time I met him, he was already an older man, and you know, used to wear dashikis and African gear, even though he was a white guy. And he was such a freaking sweetheart, you know.
Mhm.
So when I went in there and I sat down, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, what should I do? Should I go for the jugular or what? You know, I was like, let me see if I could curl this man's hair. I was like, but you know, whatever I said to him, he just kind of sat there, like, and you know, smiling at me as if to say, well, you know, chick, forgive yourself. But I think he knew that I really wasn't holding it against myself, because he
Mhm.
just was like sitting there so amused with me. Like, I was thinking to myself, well, what do I got to tell you? Like, do you want to know about my sex life?
Mhm.
Like, if you want to say something, you know, I was like, well, you know, I'm not, you know, I was just going through stupid stuff. Whatever it was, he was just sitting there, just kind of nodding at me, like, you know, okay, okay. So, so what I got from that though is that the act of confession is not for other people.
Not at all.
It's really just for you. And so it says that here, it says the sacrament of confession communicates to our system the knowledge that it is against our natural design to distort truth. A Course in Miracles says there are, how does it go? Um, oh, shucks, I can't even think of how it goes. There's, um, I don't even know that I'm going to be able to find it. But there, no people pleasing one was one, but I think that there's something like there are no hidden, um, no private thoughts.
Oh
There are
yeah.
no private thoughts. That's what it is. I knew I had written it down someplace so I could find it easy. There are no private thoughts. And so while we may think that we are holding something secret or untrue from somebody, it is really that we don't have any private thoughts. So it says lying is a violation of both the body and spirit, because the human energy system identifies lies as poison.
Mhm.
So if you could imagine, like sometimes we think that we get over on somebody or we get away with a lie. But if you could imagine that that lie is not something that you have done to the other person, it's something that you have done or that injures your own spirit. And
Mm.
do
That's
you want
good.
the cost of that in your energy? If you knew it was poisoning you, your energy, your body, who you are, do you want that cost? Is it worth putting out there if it costs you that much?
Mhm.
And so, you know, I have a friend of mine who is always worried about lies, you know, people who lie to her, guys who lie to her, you know. And I'm sitting up there thinking, what difference does it make? I was like, a lie is never about you.
About you. Never.
It's never about you. It's all
Never, never,
about
never.
you. And sometimes people think that they're doing us a favor by lying. It's not about me. It's always about you. So if the lie is about you because you don't, you know, because why? Why?
Right.
Because you don't want to show up in your truth. Because you don't want to tell me, you know, what? I, what? I don't get it. So yeah, you can't handle the truth. Is that what he got? You
Yeah,
can't
that's the
handle
statement. You
the
can't
truth.
handle the truth. And so the person who is giving that lie is really self-protecting. They don't feel a sense of safety in the moment. And even if it's imagined, they don't feel safe to own their truth. Their truth. They don't feel the safety to own their truth in the moment. So, I'm saying that to agree with that. It's never about you.
Mm-hmm.
Never about you. But it is adding poison to that person's system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's adding poison to it. And that's, I think, when we were talking about, I don't know if I'm going ahead or I'm going backwards, the energy shift or the energy exchange is when a person can feel that there's a shift in the energy when somebody is lying. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's that poison that is being felt, the energy that is like drops down. Like if there's a meter or barometer, and then when somebody is being dishonest, then that the meter drops down,
Yeah.
is what is felt probably. And that's,
Yeah. I don't even know, because like, I have I have I have been witness to people lying to me, and I knew that they were lying even before it came out of their mouth. But I don't know if I felt it in their energy, or if it was just I don't know. Sometimes I get this sensation and I want to know, okay, what's that about? You know, what's that about? And I don't have to ask, because they only, it's enough for them to know, in my estimation, right? It's enough for them to know that they are lying. And I guess the flip side of that is that it's kind of like that thing that we say with God. If if God holds that thing, like it, right? If God
mm-hmm.
like embraces it, then that would make it true.
Hmm.
But this is fluid. This is like the moment you've said it, it's like I think to myself, like, okay, something has been revealed to me, but I'm not going to hold that, because I'm going to let you be in the, because you can say to me, oh, I didn't, I misspoke, or and I'll be like, okay, too,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just, I don't get caught up in that. I don't get caught up in the drama. Like somebody be like, oh, I got you. Like,
Yes, that happens a lot in couples all the time, and to have to teach people to hold space for each other so that it's safe, as
mm,
opposed to, see, told you you are a liar. No, there was an act of a lie. Doesn't mean that that person is a liar. Their who and
right,
their do are different,
right.
and reteaching that to people is humongous, such a necessity. I feel like that's what I do pretty much all the time. Is like, let's just separate that. Let's separate the who and the do, because yeah, let's separate
Yeah.
it. Mm.
I got a friend of mine who used to do that. Like he would make it seem like something that a person did when they were 18 is still who they are
Are.
at 50.
Mm-hmm.
At 18, you was on crack or something, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll still be talking about it when you 50,
Right,
55. It's
right,
like, dude, come on. That
right,
person has been clean for this many years. Or that person, yeah, when they may have made a mistake back then, let people be new who they are in this moment.
right. Because the
I
reality is that, there's 365 days in a year, 24
mhm,
hours a day, and on each of those days. So if I had an affair for 5 hours, am I
yeah.
now a cheater for the rest of my life?
Mhm,
Or did you commit the act of cheating? And I got an issue with that language anyway, but people bear that wardrobe because
yeah.
because somebody says you did it once, so you are a, instead of you did this act.
Right, right, right. And so I yes, I get that. So but and then this goes even further, because it talks about how when we are judging things,
Hmm?
you know, so you did such and such, and therefore that is also something that depletes,
Huh.
diminishes, all of that stuff. It diminishes who we are.
Yes,
So
yes.
shame, blame, judgment, all of those things have no place in our spirit. So you know, for me, I get this thing about wanting people to be really conscious about what it is that they're doing and why. What's the motivation behind it? What's missing? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what is it? What is it that's missing that makes a person have that particular need? Am I judging? Am I
I like
holding
that.
it against you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, do you not feel comfortable to bring this into my space?
Mm-hmm.
And so even, and I'm just speaking from some experiences that I've had, even another person's inability to show up in in their fullness can impact your ability to show up in your fullness,
Oh my
because that
goodness.
energy
Yes.
over here says that, you know, I'm scared and I'm holding back, and so what you do is you hold back, right? I have another friend, and one of the things that I feel often is, even though she has learned not to say it, I often feel judged.
Mm.
I often feel judged. Now, just because you don't say it out of your mouth does not mean that I don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is, you can feel that, the heaviness of the judgment, or you can feel the pauses in the conversations, and um those types of things. I don't even know. You got to, I'm sorry, Erica, I was not looking at the screen. She says, Stephanie, repeat that again, please. And I have no idea what she is that she wanted you to repeat.
Oh,
Not
I'm
the
sorry.
who, not the do. Is that it? Um, I don't know what it was that she was saying, but, and you know, there's a
Okay.
time lapse on these anyway. So
Sometimes, yeah, I noticed that last night when I was doing that live. It was yeah, there's a time lapse.
okay.
Um, yeah, Sandy, I agree, and Sandra, I'm sorry because I want to respect
Thank you.
that. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
want to honor that. I want to honor that. Um, uh, sometimes that feeling can be a residual of an experience that you had with that person, and so therefore now I'm guarded because
Mhm.
the person may have changed their mind, but if you guys haven't had a conversation about it. So I have a friend like that too that I think is so dear, and even though they may not have really judged me, well, they have. Um, I listen to them judging other people, and so my mantra, it's mine, is that if you're doing it to them, I'm sure I'm on the chopping block too eventually.
Right.
Um, and that feeling is it's real. It's very real. It's a very real feeling. But what about the part of the Course in Miracles that says that I'm judging me, and that's when I decide to remind myself, and I have to remind some very close people to me recently, that I am volunteering to have this experience with you. I am not obligated to. And
Right.
so if I feel that I am being judged, I get to change my experience. I'm not obligated to stand in this. Like, I'm not obligated to stand in this. Because do I feel like I'm judging me? You know what I mean? Like, I have to check myself to
Right.
make sure that I'm not judging me and thinking you're judging me because I'm judging me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's one of the reasons why when I say, shine in the light type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I choose to have, I have friendships that I perceive sometimes to be challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
they are, they can be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And and I choose to be in those friendships. And I realize and recognize through shining my light into those friendships that sometimes can act as a yeah, it can illuminate some areas for another person's life.
Mm-hmm.
So say for instance, you've been a person that always followed the rules, always follow the rules. You such a good girl, right? And all of this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden you see somebody like Sandra's ass who ain't never met a rule that she didn't like or that she didn't want to break or whatever. If you run into me and then you think, hmm, well, maybe this good thing wasn't a requirement. Maybe it's
Preference.
yeah, preference or an option. I can choose an
You
option.
can choose. Mhm.
And just because that I think that that's one of those things where you see those people who in the Bible in biblical days say it rains on the just and the unjust alike. So just because we have walked the straight and narrow and done everything right doesn't mean that we're going to get out of this life unscathed, unchallenged. And so sometimes what you do is through being one of them happy ass people like Sandra that breaks all the darn rules, you see that this is possible, and then it's like, well, maybe I can loosen up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can
Mm-hmm.
unclench my cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I need to shine my light, how I shine my light,
Mm-hmm.
and know and recognize that it's all okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
all it's
Mm-hmm.
all good.
I think that when we stop judging others and ourselves is when we can confess. I don't think confession comes as long as we're holding forth judgment.
Yes, yes. I okay, I can see that.
Mhm.
So and I what? I would not want to confess to somebody who I thought was in a judgmental space,
Right.
right? I don't, because why volunteer for that?
Mhm. Right. Right.
Um, but what I do is sometimes in spite of myself, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna do like this and I'm gonna say, take that, you know? let me break that down for you. Because that's just how
And
contrary
I walk away and be like, you'll meet Sandra someday. I'm out of here. Because I am not volunteering for this nonsense. I'm out. Sorry. You'll
I
meet Sandra someday. Just keep living.
yeah. So sometimes eh, sometimes it is that I try to, yeah, I try to come up and show up in that energy and
It's good.
yeah, and just say what I'm going to say. One of the things that I was uh, at the funeral thing when I was going over there were these people that were sitting at the table, older people. They're sitting around the table and they got to talking about folks, and they always, how people do, they start talking about what's wrong with the world, and it's these people out here having babies having babies, and they just going through and they just talking and talking and talking about all of the stuff. And I wasn't necessarily into their conversation, but I did hear a lot of judgments being thrown around. And the funny thing about it is I wanted to say to these guys so bad, these older people so bad, and I didn't. That
Whoa. No.
huh?
I
Yeah, I
just
did.
said, well, I was
I,
being facetious.
I wasn't at the table. I wasn't at the table. They were at the
Okay.
table, all sitting around, talking in these spaces of judgment. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say, back in Mississippi, when my mama was a teenager, she talked about how all of her friends had to get married at 12 and 13.
Yes, ma'am.
And not only were they
Yes,
married, but
ma'am.
these people was dropping babies and all of that other
Yep.
stuff because that was what they did.
Right.
So for these folks to sit up and judge people today talking about, you know, babies having babies, this ain't new. It
No,
ain't new. It wasn't invented with this generation.
not at all.
As a matter of fact, I mean, I think that we probably put some laws in place because, you know, even in The Color Purple, you know, I
Right?
need somebody to take care of my kids and my house. And they just saw women, people just like slave
Just
masters.
like the slave masters did. Why wouldn't
Yeah,
they?
I need you to come and work my farm and
Right.
take care of these
Right.
kids because I gotta, you know. So so sometimes I'm like thinking to myself, where do they get this, this logic from?
Because it's a lack of awareness or acceptance, or it's safe to be in denial
Or
about our journey.
yeah, maybe they just heard it repeated so often that they
Oh,
just
yeah.
forget to
Hmm.
measure it up against reality. Because
That's
it
good.
had to be theirs too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't get that. Maybe they ought to ask their mama how old she was when she got married. I don't know.
And a lot of times people who sit in that judgment are living or have lived in that experience. And so we regurgitate our hurts
Mm-hmm.
and fashion it so that it's not me, but it is me. But I'm gonna fashion it so that it doesn't appear like me, but I'm holding my own self-judgment or loathing or whatever. But yeah, that was a really good point. And yeah, too bad we don't have an audience for that, because that message needs to be understood, because it perpetuates something in our community.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
perpetuates an energy in our community that we need to get rid of. We
Yeah.
need to stop it.
Yeah. So she says confession retrieves the spirit from the authority of the physical world and redirects it to the divine world.
Isn't that so good?
So yes, because it sort of puts it in the context of my stuff isn't about, all of these folks out here. My stuff is really about
Yes.
this growth, my spiritual maturation.
Yes.
It's about what I'm doing.
Yes.
And so when I confess, it's like for me when I'm confessing or when I'm telling you something about myself, whether it was that I was raped or when I gave up my virginity or any number of things, if I'm confessing something, I'm sitting up there and my confession of it renders it powerless.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? Ah,
It's so true.
you know,
It
and
is.
and and yes, because if I'm owning it, what are you gonna do? Go and say, I'm gonna let everybody know.
Okay. Hold
I'll let
up.
them know.
I'll do it myself.
Yes, I'll let them know, darn it. That renders it a mute point
Yes. Yes.
and no longer have something that you can hold
Right.
over my head or
Right.
make me feel some kind of way about it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna take the sting out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So so yes, it retrieves and while we're feeling that fear of being found out, right, let me do the revelation, let me do the big reveal.
Right.
That big reveal, that's mine, it's mine.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's one of the things. It's a powerful thing. So one of the things that she says in here is in psychological spiritual healing programs such as the 12-step program, confession and surrender of personal will to a power greater than oneself is a very basics, the very basis of success. In psychotherapy too,
Yep.
it is contemporary secular form of confession. So say for instance, when somebody comes into you
Mm-hmm.
to see Stephanie as the therapist, do you have are you say for instance, if you know somebody is lying to you,
Hmm.
how do you handle that? What do you do?
Well, my question is always, is that true? And, what can, I really just ask, is that your truth? Is
Mm-hmm.
that your truth? And because I know that the only reason that they are lying, this is my narrative, is that they are afraid of losing something, losing the connection, losing their image. Um, and eventually, as we start to talk and spend time together, the opinion or the imagination of that needing to protect themselves, it starts to break down. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Gestapo. It won't work if you're a Gestapo. But creating an environment with my clients, I deal with a lot of couples and infidelity and things like that. And it's just this beautiful thing to have somebody come in all shame based, and for them to hear me say, your who and your do are very different. They're very different.
Mm-hmm.
And then having them be able to relax in that and help to do the work to separate. That's all that I do. And then truth comes out when people separate their who from their do. There is no need to lie if you understand that what you do and who you are two different things. You are
Mm-hmm.
intrinsically right, whole, healthy, and righteous. So
Mm-hmm.
now let's focus on the doing, and let me help you to understand where that behavior started or where it came from, or you help me to understand. But so if there are lies that are told, the goal is not to catch somebody up in a lie or to check the lie or to change it. It's for them to have a clear understanding of who they are so they feel empowered to live in whatever their truth is.
Yeah. So let me tell you a good analogy or analogy that I heard one time about that. This guy was talking about how, because my grandmother used to have silverware and silver serving trays and all that stuff. And you polish it,
Mm-hmm.
to get the tarnish off.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy says, he says tarnish gets on stuff. He says, but what you're doing is you're not polishing the tarnish so much as revealing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know that the truth underlies all things, right? So if your truth is that God, if your truth is that we are all spiritual beings, yeah, sometimes there's buildup that gets on there.
Mm-hmm.
And we see through a mirror darkly, right? Sometimes there's that buildup on there. But what we're doing is we're revealing truth. And so that stuff, whether it's the salt that gets on your windshield or whatever it is that blocks your seeing, has just gotten in the way. All we got to do is just remove the whatever is blocking its ability to shine, or our ability to see through something.
And one of the things that what we learned back here is about that we don't come here naturally. None of us are born loving ourselves. So for as a therapist, it's giving permission to just change what we can, maybe let's just call it a lie, change the lying narrative that was given to us by our caretakers and adopt a new one. But that's a whole process in itself, because to say that what my parents delivered to me or gave to me is not truth, and finding the truth, that's a whole nother process. And so lies can sometimes come from the misinformation that I've gotten from the people that raised me,
Right,
that really doesn't fit my who.
right, right.
Doesn't it's not congruent to my who. And
Mhm.
so that's why my do is the way that it is because I'm not in alignment with who I am.
Right. Okay, so Erica says, I'm going to watch this episode again. This is so empowering. I
Oh,
almost want to hire Stephanie as a therapist.
that's a good idea. That's a good idea, girl. I know I got a wait list right now, but it's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's a
Yeah.
good idea because I mean it. I really sincerely mean it. I mean that on all aspects of my life. Like living this out. I understand that it's a journey. It's
Mhm.
difficult. That's why this book is just so powerful to me,
Right.
because this spiritual life, if you think about it, and those people who have gotten a hold of this information, is something that we've always known. It's like one of those things that I've always known it. Like Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, you've always had it in you. Like it's always been there. It's clicking your heels because it's true. It
Mhm.
is true. And truth is just like, yeah, it's just yummy good medicine.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
thank you, Erica. Deep bow to you. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, so from the Sephirah of Hassad, meaning greatness and love, we receive natural instinct and spiritual directive to speak in ways that do not harm others, right? And communication using this quality of energy is effortless. We violate it and poison ourselves when we do not speak the truth. And some people will take their judgments as truth, right? So when they're judging somebody or looking down on somebody, sometimes they'll sit there and make it seem like, oh, and that is a fact. Here's a here's a
Yeah, give me
here's
a for instance.
yeah, here's a crazy example of that, right? Somebody says to me, because I'm good at breaking rules. I love to break rules. But somebody says to me something dumb like, you're not supposed to wear those white pants after Labor Day.
Yeah.
And you're looking at them like, and and
Well, that's
what is
that's
what
a
is that?
delusion. That's an illusion. That's a
What is
it's a human construct. What?
yes, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So people have you so even with, and we were born into, to me, I know this is my truth too, we were born into a capitalist system.
Yeah.
And so what people have a tendency to do is to judge others based on stuff like where you live, what you own, how much you make,
Yes.
what's your, all of those things, they become part of people's framework on how they judge, or how they, the perception that they have of other people. And so it becomes one of those things of, people take it as if this is the gospel, as if it is truth.
Mhm. Can
And
you imagine going to theology school and not, I didn't know that I was doing that until I wrote some papers, that truth is relative. Oh, what? That is not the case. But as you study human behavior, you don't have to. I came to a conclusion that truth is relative.
yeah,
So when I impose my truth on you, I am a judger.
yes, 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 yes. So wait a minute, let me read this. Erica says, my ex keeps wanting to keep me in the past as a liar. Yes, I lied about shit then,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't who I am now.
Period.
Where is the redemption?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the grace? Where is the forgiveness? So now here I, oh, wait a minute. Go ahead, Stephanie. Do you want to?
The grace is now, the redemption is now, and the forgiveness is now because it's yours. We don't have to externally reach for those things. You have it for yourself. And those other people just have to learn to wake up or get out of your space. But the reality is that you are absolutely right. There are 365 days in a year, 24 hours in each one of those days. Whatever you did in that 1 hour, you got all those other days of moments of your life that mean that you are intrinsically right, beautiful, honest, and real. And that is the space we have to learn to live in. And and it feels foreign to people who don't understand that, to say, hey, that was one event in a lifetime of events, I must move on.
So now, okay, so true, right?
Mhm.
But I will say that there is, and what we're talking about, we're in this section about confession.
Fashion. Mhm.
So I think that there is a power in confessing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And once that, because for me that's like an offload.
Mhm. That's good. I like that.
Now
Mhm.
that I've offloaded that, you get to choose whether or not you hold on to what it was that I now offloaded. But by my offloading it, I have rendered it powerless for me. It no
Yes.
longer has any sting or any other thing. Now you get to choose how you're dealing with it. As long as I keep it hidden, it's like having some, I mean, sometimes I open up my refrigerator and you would swear I was a meat eater because I smell something in there that is
Me
like,
too. Right.
you're looking for what it is that's causing that freaking odor in your
Mhm.
refrigerator.
Mhm.
And you're
Mhm.
like, and so a lie or things that you keep hidden is just like that. You may not see them, but your nose knows that they're there.
Mhm.
And so you gotta keep searching around and trying to figure out. The moment I bring light to it, the moment I pull it out, that's the act of, okay, here it is. This is a confession. So now I have now rendered it powerless. If you want to hang on to it and keep smelling that scent,
Right.
you.
Yeah, because I took the trash out on Monday. Now nobody told you to go out there and go in the garbage and bring it back into this house.
Right, right.
It's I'm done with that, and I'm no longer going to entertain that. And it's a power and control thing when someone continues to bring your past up to you. It's all the power and it's a power and control because somewhere on your journey they have recognized that you didn't want to be wrong, and so you are wrong, and so now it's used. It can be used against you, but the power is in knowing who you are. That is just like one event. You did that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's done. Like that's it. And it's so true that, and it's not the norm for our society. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I know I'm that's not the norm for our society, but it's hard to hold, but it's the revelation and the freedom. I can literally watch chains break off when people grasp the understanding that 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 is not who you are. Now, if you say it is, then put that coat on and wear it proud. But if you know that what you do and who you are different, then you walk into who you are. And even if you lie again, it doesn't change that equation.
Mm-hmm.
It does not change that equation. Even if you lie again, if you lie 3 days in a row, it doesn't change the fact that you are not a liar. You lied.
Right.
That's it.
Right, right. Yes, that is the honest to God truth. But let me say this too, or add, not a but add. I'm going to add that, I've in reading, because I've read a lot of books on forgiveness, because forgiveness is
Mm,
such a powerful, powerful thing.
yes.
And one of the things that they talk about in having forgiveness is sometimes it is that we want another person to apologize, right, to take responsibility for what has happened.
Hmm.
And I know that I have, in reading stuff, there are people who just say stuff like, well, if I offended you, I'm sorry, which is not owning that you did anything that was offensive,
Hmm.
right? But if a person just wants to be forgiven and hasn't pulled that stinky stuff out of the refrigerator, that stinky stuff continues to smell.
Hmm.
But now, if I'm really trying to do a sincere apology, there is a way to do a sincere apology. It's by acknowledging what I did, right?
And
I
that as
lied,
simple as that.
right. I lied to you, and let me tell you, because and I struggle with this around, in my relationships, even when I've chosen to do something, I want to try to help you understand where my head is,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And it's not one of those things like it's not you, it's me. I'm not going to just say it that way. I want to tell to the best of my ability what it is that I'm struggling around.
Mhm,
And once I own my piece and I say, okay, this is where I am.
mhm.
Once I own my piece and I put it out there, I know that this is hurtful. I know that I hurt you, and I know that this is probably what you're going through. I want to acknowledge all the pieces. I want to acknowledge that and then follow that up by not only saying I'm sorry, but then proving that I don't just wantonly disregard it. Some people will walk in the room and say, well, are you going to forgive me or what? Are you going to let this go or what?
Yeah.
And
Oh
haven't done
yeah.
or said any darn thing.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that's why people sometimes have such a hard time with letting things go. If you haven't, if all you've done is just be like, yeah, I lied and let it go, then they might be still sitting there like, well, you know, I
Well,
don't.
I think that there needs to be a conversation, and I know that we're not born skill set with this, but there needs to be a conversation that goes something like, I forgive you and I want you to forgive yourself. That has to be an extended extension and a hand out to create the togetherness, not like, I'm still mad and then I now little Johnny has to come over here and work with a therapist so that they can forgive themselves because they're not clear if they're forgiven over here, or if you come from a narrative that I got to earn forgiveness. So now that whole efforting part, you have to dismantle all that belief. But yeah, when you forgive you, then the rest of it kind of just falls into place. You can let people go. And that's why self-forgiveness work is so crucial. Not so much forgiving the other person, but start with the forgiving of
Yes,
yourself.
yes.
Forgive, knowing that my who and my do are different. When you start your own self-forgiveness and understanding this is me, this is who I am, I don't have to lie, I don't have to be afraid. Life ain't gonna beat me up if I live in myself. But when you forgive yourself, then you can even have grace on the person that's struggling to forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that was hard for me to forgive for my own self. So take your time. I got you, but I'm not going to take your butt beats while you living in a space of unforgiveness. Now, you don't get to beat me up while you do your work. But
Mm-hmm.
I understand because it was difficult for me to forgive myself. I had to figure out why I even did what I did or why I lied in the first place. I had to do my own work to figure out what was that all about. But yeah, absolutely, it's work. But the work
Yes.
is always, in my humble opinion, self work. It's the work that I got to do for me. And if
Right.
I'm good for me, then if you're not good for me or with me, that no longer becomes my problem. I don't have to participate in that. And that's permission slips that I have. I have permission slips on my desk, and I'll write one and be like, here, take it home, meditate on it, have it. You don't have to do that. You don't, it's not our responsibility to make or have people forgive us. If they're not there, they got to do their own work.
Right, right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Gretchen says that being able to accurately articulate her thoughts is a huge challenge, right? And sometimes, because I'll say that I can own that too, right? I can own that
Mm-hmm.
when it comes down to me. Like, say, for instance, sometimes I can say my truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you accurately what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. But now, say for instance, if you didn't hear me, now all of a sudden saying it again is really harder, right? Like if I told you in the first place that let me give you an example. Stephanie and I have a mutual friend, right? And I can or have said, look, yes, I find you attractive. Yes, there's a lot about you that is wonderful, but could I trust you? there is something that is in my spirit that says that you're not, you know, this ain't a match, right? There is something in my spirit that I can't even put my finger on that says we're not a match.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you come back to me 2 years later with the same thing, I'm thinking, why didn't you hear me the first time? Now you want me to say that again? Do you know how hard it was to say the first time? So now the second time, I'm just gonna say, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so now you may think that I'm being, or I'm not saying, or blah, 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 whatever it is. But I felt like I shared my truth before. If you wasn't able to hear it now, don't ask me to repeat it again, because I already said it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was heart-wrenching when I said it. I'm not revisiting that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You just, boy, bye. I mean, and that's that.
However, I think that there is a part of us, as especially as women, women of color, but white women too, but we don't let what's up here register down here. So when there's not a connection, the reason why it's so hard for us to articulate is because we haven't learned to bring those two, the head and the heart, together, so that when I explain something and I'm articulating it to you, I'm not only articulating my analytical thought about it, but I'm also articulating my heart space about it. And we learned about the heart, it's the love space. And so my mind is like this, but my heart is saying something else. Like, I'm afraid of you. I don't trust you. I don't feel trust in my heart. We're telling that part of our truth. That's, to me, the part of the truth that cracks open the nut and then exposes the juiciness on the inside. And so
Okay.
sometimes that part makes it hard to articulate, because I'm feeling something, but I'm only talking about what I think.
Okay. Okay, that could be true, but for me, I was telling you, I'm telling people the whole thing. I'm telling you how I feel. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I feel it. And that's a big thing with me. I don't know if it's because I'm a Pisces, but I can
You
tell
feel
you,
everything.
right, I can tell you how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel, if I sometimes I have been around men, I'll just say it this way, who I'm gonna give you an example, because I was in the grocery store and this guy approached me. And what I felt like was that he was looking at a piece of meat that was in the little thing. And I was like, no, I am a person, right? I am a person. I am not a piece of meat to evaluate
And
whether or not
justify.
it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's going to be something that you want to just sink your teeth into. That you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really clear about that. Or, sometimes I used to always take it as my responsibility when a guy would go, ooh, I gotta stop and say, bruh, no, that is not how you talk to women. That is not how. He was like, well, some women. I was like, well, I'm not one of those women. And you should have read that on me before you started with talking up under
But
my
that's because you were invisible. The you was invisible.
so I made sure he saw it. But 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 it becomes one of those things. I can tell you about how something makes me feel, right? I
Mm-hmm.
got that. I could talk about my feelings. Now, when you ask me, like say for instance, if somebody asked me to repeat something, I don't even know, because I'm in the moment when I'm saying it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, I'm not, I don't turn around then 10 minutes later and say, well, it comes out different 10 minutes later.
It does come different.
It's,
It
you know,
does. And it's
yeah.
okay.
If you didn't hear me the first time, I don't even know if I can access that spot. I just got to say no.
Yeah, but it is difficult to share your
Way
truth.
back.
I mean, we have to practice. It's a muscle. that you
Yeah.
literally have to practice. It's a muscle, and it's anxiousness because as women, we've got programming that we are having to unprogram about telling our truth and staying in our place. There's so many messages that are unconscious that
Mm,
it doesn't flow as easy. And then you add all the other societal prejudice and rules and boundaries that we have believed, that it does make it difficult to articulate. It absolutely does.
yeah. So let me because we're at the bottom of the hour already. We violated communication using this quality of energy is effortlessly. We effortless is effortless. We violate it and poison ourselves when we do not speak the truth. Indeed, we must not confess our wrongdoings to other if doing so will hurt them further.
Mhm.
And I think maybe that's part of the reason why I'm not repeating too, because
Mhm. Oh, that's
if,
good,
if,
Sandra.
if there's something that caused you to shut down that so that you didn't hear me, maybe I don't need to circle back on that. Maybe it's enough to say,
B.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah. So sometimes,
Read that last sentence though. That's good though.
indeed, we must not confess our wrongdoing to others if doing so will hurt them further.
I meant this one, that we are meant to confess so that we can redirect our energy into positive action and behavior and release ourselves from the burden of negative and guilt inducing emotions, because that's what makes us sick. That was my little caveat on the end.
Yeah. Okay. So I hadn't read that one yet. So
Sorry.
no, it's okay. So she says, and release ourselves from the burden of negative and guilt inducing emotions.
Mhm.
We are meant to confess so that we can redirect our energy into positive actions and behaviors and release ourselves from the burden of negative and guilt inducing emotions. We
Mhm.
are not designed to be critical of others or ourselves. We think ill of others only out of fear,
Fear.
out of fear.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you know, and sometimes people use us as their litmus test on how they feel about, it. I,
I like that.
I
Yes.
tell you, comparison is diminishing when you sit there and because I've had people who want to. I used to go to a gym, right? And so you go to the gym with these with these young girls or something like that, and they're busy like in there just doing their exercise and their squats, and they have in their mind about what they think men are going to be attracted to.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, and I have said to them, you don't know what a man is attracted to,
You don't.
right? You don't know it is if he's attracted to women that remind him of his mother,
Mhm.
or if he is attracted to, big women, skinny women, this, that, and the other. And they're busy sitting up there trying to get these
Trying to figure
bodies
it
of
out.
stone. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, girl, what I
Simply be who you are.
right. I, I said to somebody, I said, girl, guys like a little jiggle.
And if
And
not, go over to the next one. If not that one, someone does.
they were sitting up there like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. I was like, wait, I said, why do you think they say booty bounce? It ain't booty just nothing. It's, let me see the booty bounce. They like a little jiggle. They were just so appalled. We in here trying to get beach bodies of stone, and here come this girl. How she know what? How many times you been married? What that got to do with anything,
Right.
right?
Right.
you know, shucks, whatever. But everybody thinks that they have the answer and they know. And when
Yes,
it's right, it's right. It
it
just,
is.
you
It's
know,
so true.
all of that stuff. Don't be up there trying to be a contortionist, trying to get somebody to like you, because that's not what's going to hold people there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the face I'm going to wear today. Come on, come on, come on. All right. So, I'm sorry.
Yes, because we cannot judge others and cannot be critical of others.
right, right. Right. I mean, and just do you. We are not designed to be critical of others or ourselves or to think ill out of it. We do so out of fear. To release words that hurt others contaminates both that person and ourselves. And our physical body holds us responsible for this form of destruction.
Yes.
In Buddhism, this is called the precept of right speech.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting. There are certain things that we can say and do to others that can be so hurtful and sometimes cut people to their quick, to the point where they no longer are the people who they had been. I
Mm-hmm.
often share the story about a little girl whose mother, this little girl used to sing and dance all the time, all the time. Um, as a matter of fact, it puts me in the mind of my niece when she first came here to Cleveland. She used to always be singing and dancing and just, just all over the place. And now she is so reserved, and I don't exactly know where that comes from. If that was from going to school, or if it was something that she got somewhere in the midst of things that it wasn't acceptable. But you know how you see people and their personality change, and sometimes it could just be a second on your lips and it lasts a lifetime in somebody's spirit. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be conscious about what it is that we say and the impact, how it falls on another person. Because yes, it those destructive types of things, yes, they do resonate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yes, yes, yes. So, um, so the Javura, Gavura, the
Mm-hmm.
meaning judgment and power, transmits into our energy systems the awareness that we should never intentionally judge another person or ourselves negatively.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is not just the words that come across your lips. Don't even think in those terms, right? How did I retrain? Because for a lot of people, to give up judging others is really hard, especially when you're busy judging yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the way that I ridded myself of that, and this is still an ongoing process, but the way that I ridded myself of that was by naming everybody God.
That's good.
And when I either name them all God or name them all Jesus, I have to be aware of, how I'm thinking about that person. It's like a true litmus test for me. Like if that's God showing up like that, whoo, you smell. Um, any of that stuff. It's like, how would I, if this person was truly, there's this song out by this artist. It's an old song. If God was one of us, what
Oh
if God
yes.
was one of us? Just a
Mm-hmm.
slob like one of us,
Mm-hmm.
just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the awareness that
Oh,
for
how
me,
sweet it would
that
be.
I bring to
Yes.
stuff. If
Yes.
if I recognize you as God, it's really hard for me to judge you. I just be like, ooh, hey, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That would be
so
so yummy.
yes, yes, yes. But it's already so true.
It is true.
So true.
It's true. When I say that, I think about, I'm always saying, what if the whole world was doing? Can you imagine what it would be?
Oh my gosh, girl.
Oh, oh my goodness. It's just overwhelming.
Yes. Yes. If we could just love each other and see the divinity in one another all the time, it would
Yes.
just make it so, so excellent. So
Hmm.
that's my challenge,
Thank
though.
you
That's my
all. Yeah,
challenge to
mine's too.
you. That's the challenge to myself. Yes, that's the challenge. Just see God everywhere.
Like I double dare you today.
Right, right, right. All right. So, Stephanie, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank
You
you
for shining
too.
your light and being the light. I appreciate Gretchen and Erica and
Thank
everybody who's
you.
watching
Yes.
today. Let's go out and spread this
Spread
wonderful.
some love.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. So
Yes.
thank you. I'll see you guys
Thank you.
tomorrow.
See you
Well,
tomorrow.
I'll be on here later on today, but I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right then. Have a
Blessings.
good one.
You
Bye-bye.
too. All right. So the light of God surrounds you, love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is. Go forth and spread this consciousness. See ya.